Welcome to my channel, to everyone who's new here, and of course those of you who are back again. Great to have you here. In this video we are going to talk about Render, TAO, Kaspa and ONDO. Things were exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. So before we start with Render, I had a very detailed update about Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP and Solana. There we talked about the bullish divergence which we have built for Bitcoin. For example, it was a 6 times bullish divergence. So we have also communicated all in all that we have our bearish scenarios, and yes, for sure, Render was very close to the purple box, very close, like with this wick. How much was it? It was $3.40, $3.35 was our target. So basically, yes, Render is one of the only coins with Sui, I think, which went into our purple boxes. But in the end of the day, we have also communicated on YouTube that we already built up long positions earlier because we were thinking a bullish reversal is going to happen very soon. And we got it. So basically, for Render, we didn't had a chance to get into a trade all the time. Here was the chance. And unfortunately, I have a teammate. We are sharing one account. So basically he saw it and he just took a long position down here. And I took mine right here. Because we have seen support, we have seen a breakout, and I was thinking this is just going to be the retest and then the bounce. We sold off a bit more, and my friend took a long position down below here to accumulate and get our entry price here for this push. We already took profits, and we took profits. For that I have to take this price mark out of the chart. We took profits right here. Why did we do that? First of all, this movement here is very impulsive with a huge fair value gap. A long squeeze can happen anytime soon. That's why we wanted first to de-risk. Second of all, most of the coins went into an area where I say we are close for a reversal on the bearish side. And the reversal, it doesn't mean that, it's the wrong word. Like, a reversal means that we get into a new cycle. The word which I want to take is actually correction. So basically this up movement here should end soon before we get a consolidation, hopefully, within a bull flag. Then we can measure new targets for this push. So far, I don't see it. Our target for Render was $3.81 to $3.91. Where are we? Right here. Are we that impulsive like before? Here, it was very impulsive. Here also, the candles were a bit bigger. But since we are in that area, $3.81 to $3.93, the whole up movement is actually getting weaker and weaker, and I think we are going to get a consolidation over the weekend, maybe to fill some parts of that fair value gap. The issue here is I don't see any kind of support which I actually want to trade. We have good support at $3.69. We have good support right here. But the issue is, where are we going to get a bounce? And where am I ready to risk my money? Issue here is, if we get to $3.70 and we decide to bounce and I get into a long trade, for sure, lucky. But what if we decide to fill more of the fair value gap? Right here, $3.60. What if we think, okay, we have many long positions, stop losses here for most of the people. What if the market makers are going to push the market price down to fish those stop losses? That's a question. Like, it's always if. Issue is, we don't see any kind of chart patterns. We are in take profit areas for almost all of the coins. So I actually doubt that we are going to see some more upside momentum. Look, we're also getting the first red candle. So it looks like that the whole upside potential is slowly ending. Pullback, and we have to see in what kind of pullback we are going to get. If it's going to be some kind of a corrective movement to the downside, like this for example, then it's positive. We can expect higher prices, and then we can measure new targets. And yeah, it's just an example. But then we can get far higher prices, maybe even $4.30 if we get this kind of chart pattern. If we sell off impulsively and we just get a dead cat bounce, then I can expect this was just a bull trap and we are going for lower prices. So far, it's still unknown. Similar to what Jerome Powell said, unknown about the inflation rate. It's unknown everything. The only thing which is positive is the labor market, which is stable. So basically, based on that, he might change the rates. So he might do rate cuts. He also said that the tariffs have a negative impact on the inflation. So the inflation goes up because of the tariffs, he said. He said he can measure it. He's still uncertain how the tariffs are going to influence the inflation over a longer time period, because he also have warned us about a compounding effect. Means like maybe we get 1% now, but we are going to get hurt far more because the inflation rate is going to increase. And if we stay at the level, for example, like 3%, 4%, then we have a compounding effect. Like maybe you have known it, if you have, for example, $100 and you put in 2% inflation. Let's do it with higher numbers so it's easier. So let's just assume 10%. 10% would mean $110. If we now get another 10%, then it's not going to be on the $100. So it's not $120. It's going to be $121. So it's actually with the same inflation rate, $1 more. And this is going to get, over the time, it will hurt. And that's what also Jerome said. He don't know how the tariffs are going to impact the whole supply chain. Yeah, because it already started. And we have to wait longer. And so far, that's what he said. He said he will just think about it, changing the monetary system. But yeah, he didn't verify it yet. He can't do it. In 25 days, there will be a decision if we get rate cuts. And he will decide it, maybe, I think he's going to decide on the same day with his team. And then they sit there on the table and discuss if it's good to cut rates or not. So basically, this whole up movement is just the market which thinks the rates are going to get cut, but we don't have any kind of evidence from Jerome Powell. He didn't say it that he's going to cut rates. So basically, it's all speculation right now. This whole movement is a speculation. And I just want to remember you what happened to crypto when Trump announced that there will be a crypto treasury from the US government. And he named coins like XRP, Solana, and Cardano. Cardano, for example, I still remember it. It made 70% within a few hours. Then the Bitcoin treasury or the crypto treasury came out. And then it was not like expected. The market expected that the US government is going to invest, for example, tax money into cryptos and have it like a treasury, like, for example, similar to gold. Then they have said, if I remember it correctly, it's just if criminals get caught and if they have cryptos. Then they are going to take the cryptos from those criminals and going to put it into that treasury. And this is not what the market wanted to hear, so it was a huge flop. And let's assume this is Cardano and this is the 70% push. What Cardano did afterwards, after the news came out, this. So it was sold off. This whole push got sold off and we even got a bit lower prices for Cardano afterwards. So we have to see if the rates are really going to get cut or if this is just a fake movement to the upside. I want to warn you there. So what about TAO? For TAO, we have said, okay, $345 if we break it to the upside. Here was the breakout, not perfect, and I wasn't in the TAO long trade anyway. And what I can just say here is that, in my opinion, the bearish targets are gone. we got into 2 bearish targets already, but we didn't sold off in its maximum extension. Our first target was anyway the 334 US dollar, which is this trend line right here. If that would have broke sustainable to the downside, then I would have said, okay, $314 is going to be the next target, but we already expected a bullish reversal because we had so many bullish chart patterns on the chart, which I have also communicated on YouTube with videos and also with community posts to keep you always updated. And yes, so far this movement is very bullish, so I don't think that we are going to sell off anymore. Our actual target, if we break the 345 US dollar to the upside, here wasn't a clean breakout, but our target was the fair value gap between 363 US dollar to 370 US dollar. We are there, we overshot it a little bit. Yeah, it's not like Ethereum, where we have said 4.6k is realistic, and here Ethereum is at 4.8k, even more than that. So Ethereum completely the outperformer this time. But yeah, we have to see. It is weekend, so we can chill a bit. I'm not going to take any kind of trades. I'm waiting for another chart pattern. The positive thing is that we have a falling wedge in orange, this one right here, which broke to the upside. So we can actually use the weekend to get a consolidation and hopefully not break the orange trend line here again. And then we have to see if we are going to get a follow through or another bullish chart pattern where we can draw, for example, trend line. If we break it to the upside, then I think it is unrealistic to fill that fair value gap. We are going to get into that fair value gap then on a later time in the next bear market. But yeah, this is my game plan for now. It is actually waiting for some nice gains. So what about Kaspa? For Kaspa, we have said the price mark here is 8.5 cents. If they break to the upside, then it's positive. The first breakout was not perfect. We even sold off. But right here, this was the perfect retest. Several hours consolidating and touching the 8.5 cents. So there we have the verification that the 8.5 cents are support, and we can see it over several hours. We didn't manage to break it to the downside. So here is the risk to reward ratio. Very good. And I will tell you why. It's not just because I have said, I think 2 days ago, it's for sure we can use here the candle close or even the push here, and we can try to manage it like this, and then yes, we would get more profits if we get our trade down below here instead of far higher prices. Yeah, that's, I think everyone knows it. But why I also do it is over several hours, and we can count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 hours in a row means a half day. The price didn't manage to get a breakdown like this. So we have so much buying strength in those 12 hours that the chance of selling off is very low. If we would have actually sold off, or if we would have been that bearish, then we wouldn't have been 12 hours in a row at that support. We would have probably touched it one time, maybe a second time, but on the third time we are down. So basically those are always, in my opinion, the most profitable trades. For sure it can still fail, but in most cases it's going to be good. And we are not hunting 100% win rates because that is not possible, and everyone who tells you that they are always doing wins is just lying. It's not possible. Anyway, falling wedge broke to the upside, got its retest, and the retest was also again the 8.5 cents. This was our best support which we had. Target now, ongoing, 9.6 cents. I can still imagine, like here, it looks like if we go into the 50 minutes chart, can be, but it doesn't have to be, a small bearish chart pattern, double top pattern, If we break it to the downside, so we have here a support at 9.2 cents. I will make it with a real trend line. So here we can see, at least on the 50 minutes chart, that we didn't manage to get over it since 2 hours, and we also bounced. So basically, if we break the 9.22 cents to the downside, then I think, yeah, maybe we are going to go for the fair value gap. But in my opinion, it shouldn't be in a fast, impulsive way. So if we really are going to sell off, then I want it to be in a very corrective way. So we can draw a falling wedge, or you can see a falling wedge, bull flag, or any kind of other bullish chart pattern in the next days over the weekend. Also to cool down the RSI. So the RSI is overheated and already built up a bearish divergence on the 50 minutes chart. If we go into the 1 hour chart, yeah, I want to see the RSI getting down while the price is not going to move a lot. And if we then see a breakout, then we have so much space to the upside. But for sure, it can also happen that we are not going to sell off, that we are going to continue getting slowly higher prices. Most likely not in that impulsive way, most likely in a weak way. And then we should see the 9.6 cents before we get the consolidation. So basically, my plan, waiting for a chart pattern which we can trade, like for example this falling wedge, like for example this green trend line, and then we have to see, I took profits right here a bit earlier. For some coins, yeah, some coins they did this. Kaspa is still here. Other coins like Solana and Render are also like this. So basically, did I do the right decision? In my opinion, yes, because we were here. I took profits because we never know if we are just going to sell off again or if we are going to push more to the upside. We will just see it in the future. And what happened in the past, I don't have to tell you that. In the end of the day, it already happened and we can't do money with it. We can only earn money with the future, and we don't know what the future brings with it. So basically everything is speculation. We didn't also sell off into the 7.9 cents. This was our most bearish target because we have there a fair value gap, but here was our target, 8.2 cents. We hit it. This was the target based on the chart pattern. The other targets down below here are, if we are super bearish, then we have fair value gaps waiting for us between the area 7.9 cents to 7.5 cents. I would take this one out. I think it's unrealistic that we are going to sell off there for now. But we have expected a bullish reversal earlier than selling off into most of our bearish targets. And I think it is kind of good if we are going to see a consolidation within a chart pattern. And I think it's going to be very realistic that it's going to happen, because then we can trade again. Otherwise, with my setup, if we are just going to continue getting up, it's not possible to trade, in my opinion. If we have a better setup for this, then feel free to go. So what about ONDO? ONDO also. Here I took my long position. And at 90 cents also. A bit over it. Because this is the red trend line. I was already in losses. So basically what I have done was, okay, I was already in losses, so I want to get my price down. And I'm not even, since we are already here, I'm not risking that much capital anymore. Like, I'm already in losses. So what can I lose more? Stop loss order down here or something, and then try the luck to get up. It happened. So basically everything was good. We had good support, and the trading setup, I didn't like it that much, but it still worked. Falling wedge broke to the upside. Our target was actually 97.8 cents to $1 because there was our resistance box, inclusively a fair value gap. We are now over it. So I can also imagine here that we are going to consolidate, that we are getting support in the support box. That's why the support box is there. Then we're going to sell off again, get support here again, and then get into the fair value gap to fish a bit of the long positions, the high leverage one, and then we have a bull flag, and then we can trade it into the overall target of that falling wedge, $1.07. So I can also take here all the bearish targets out of the chart. If we look again, 8.8 cents was our target actually, and we missed it by 1 cent. So basically this was also pretty good in my opinion, but like I said, we went into a long position far too early. Can happen, but still the bullish momentum was still there, because we have had so many bullish divergences, like I have said, for Bitcoin 6 times. Bullish divergence for ONDO, it already started right here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we can count, let's not count this one here. 4, 5. 5 times. So basically, there was a lot of strength based on the bullish divergences which we got. Like usually we would even say like a bullish divergence starts if we get one lower low, means we have 2 lows, but one is lower than that in the chart. But in the RSI we are having the opposite, a higher low. Then it's already a bullish divergence. And with a triple or even 4 times bullish divergence, the market strength is already there. Like we just have to break to the upside and then we can get some positive momentum. With a 5 times bullish divergence for ONDO, 6 times bullish divergence for Bitcoin, and I don't want to count the other bullish divergences which we have built for all the other coins. The whole market was so bullish, it just had to, I don't want to say how to get activated, but there is a market mechanism behind this. There are many short sellers there. We have so many people putting, for example, we get all those lower lows, and people are just going to short all the time. They are going to short, but the RSI is telling us, hey, we are a bit more bullish. We have the strength from the buyer side. It just needs like one good push, and then we have a domino effect. For example, here, this just happened far faster than usual, but then the first short sellers are going to get liquidated, the seconds are going to get liquidated, those ones here as well. Some have stop loss orders there, okay, also going to get liquidated. Then people like me are going to get into chart patterns, are going to get into the momentum, so the price is going to pump. And this can happen in a very short term, like for example here, within a few hours, or it can happen over days. Just a bit slowly, but it's in the end of the day the same kind of setup. We had that setup. We were also talking about a bullish reversal 2 days ago that we should pump up because we have those bullish divergences. And yesterday I haven't done an update, but I have done a community post that we are just going to form more chart patterns like inverted head and shoulders formatation, double bottom patterns, falling wedges, and so on and so on. So many bullish chart patterns, so many more bullish divergences. So the pump which we had, I think it's not because we are going to see rate cuts. It was just the first step, like to get the first buyers in, to get the domino effect. This push which we have seen today is based on liquidations from short sellers. So with that said, we see each other in tomorrow's update, hopefully with more chart patterns. If I don't see any kind of chart patterns, and I'm going to keep you informed in the community section, then it's not worth it to do a video because I'm just going to tell you the same which I have told you today. And yeah, let's hope that over the weekend we are getting a cooldown in the RSI, some good bullish corrections, consolidations, so we get new chart patterns, and on Monday hopefully a breakout, so we have some good trades for the next week. See you.